Good morning and welcome to Irreverent Knits. I am Tracy, owner of Low Country Shrimp and Knits, and with me is Judy. She is the fabulous artiste behind Maggie Loves Yarn, and we've been trying to come up with what exactly is this thing that we're doing, and because I don't think it's just a podcast because we're on video, but I don't think it's I feel like we're like a talk show that happens in a yarn store.
Comedy show.
Comedy. We got you here.
Yeah, it's a talk show
So, because we don't really go, here's how you knit, or anything that a lot of knitting shows do, or shows about, yarn and things like that. We're a little unique. So, and that's sometimes good and sometimes a little bit horrifying, but we are inching our way closer to Christmas, so we have a lot of things coming up today. My daughter made these earrings. They're little Santa hats, if you can see, so I thought I'd don them for the occasion. But we had kind of a neat week here, so before I get too far into it, I had such a lovely experience the other day. We had Nancy from She's Got Yarn 2 in, and she stopped by and she did this really special, lovely little show on her channel here on YouTube about my shop. So if you have a chance, go check her out, subscribe to her, subscribe to us as well, please. But make sure you check it out because she was really sweet.
She uses music. Now, see, we've got to use music.
I know, I got to step up my IT game, but the fact...
I'll bring in a kazoo, and while you're talking...
I'm expecting that next time. I would like some kind of serenade, so that when I come in, background music, things like that.
Yeah,
so
we need music.
We definitely need. I got to figure out how to do this whole
intro.
IT thing. Yeah, I was thinking we should do Cakes by the Ocean by DNCE, but I don't know if I can get the Jonas Boy on board with it. But maybe. We never know. You never know who's watching, right? He could be watching. Go, I'm such a fan. Oh my gosh, the way you guys knit, it's so good. So, how was your week?
Good.
Nothing exciting?
Nope, I behaved myself.
Oh, that's boring.
I knitted every day. I'm so close to being finished.
I know. I can't wait to show off the sweater. Your sweater.
Islington is almost done. I'm up here.
It looks so good.
I am 7 rows away from finishing the blanket.
Okay.
Maybe about 18 rows away from finishing that cowl for you.
You are cranking.
I may cast on for the socks, but
I'll have to show you what I did, which was pretty much nothing, because I think is it possible to die from being so tired?
Well, you had a busy week. You had to go to...
Oh, my God.
You had to go to the gym at Cafetorium and listen to...
I've had such a crazy week. So, we had... usually, of course, we gave in years ago to Elf on the Shelf. Well, this year we have upgraded to Snoop on a Stoop. And I've handed it to the teenagers. And every night they're coming up with something where Snoop is getting into more and more trouble. I mean, he died at one point. Somehow we resurrected him, but then he was in jail. And now he's stripping for bail money.
The magic of Hollywood. He was
reinvented. He was a zombie now, and but then he went to jail for faking his own death or whatever have you. That's what's going on in my house. So we're doing that on Tuesday. My daughter had her chorus concert. There were so many people there that we were like, I don't even see my daughter, and my dad was pretty convinced she left. So
she spends the time texting me.
It was an hour of little kids trying to sing and / play the guitar. So it was.
I've done my time.
Yeah.
Done my time.
Yeah, it really is quite a commitment. So, so we had that good time, and mostly it's just been. I'm in finals right now, so I have a whole bunch of college students freaking out. So let's see, because so many cheated in the last couple of years that they're now doing all spoken exams. So I'm just going to hit them up with some questions, and they already know the questions ahead of time. But there's about 2 dozen.
They don't know which one.
There's 2 dozen questions that I could ask, and I told them already, don't be asking the other people around you because I'm going to do different questions for every single final. So that is daunting for them. So I'm getting all these panicking, like, what if I fail the whole final? I'm like, that is math, okay? This is a Spanish class. I'm not going to tell you what you're going to get if you fail the final. I don't know. There's too much math involved. So
I went to a liberal arts college, so I had a religion professor my first year. All he did was, on the first day, he handed you 50 questions, and then he would just lecture every class, and during the class somewhere, that question would be answered. And
that's interesting.
So you couldn't skip.
That's
because she
interesting.
didn't know what,
Oh.
And the final was 5 of those questions. So you either knew them, or if you'd skipped the day, you prayed it was not one of those.
Okay, all right. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, no, I got really ticked off the other day at the students because, we use this online homework system, and it's great. It's a really good, thorough system. They complain because it's a language, and we're not in person. We're on Zoom, and so it requires so much practice, and they don't want to do it. They're like, it's homework. I'm like, well, how else are you going to practice? You have to learn this. So each day I teach a grammatical component, and I try to get them to speak and talk and go through it, and a lot of them won't. They're embarrassed and what have you because they're not, no one really knows what they're doing at Spanish 102 level. And so I give these packets that go along with the chapter because it covers the vocabulary, it covers the grammar, everything that's going on in the test. Well, now they all just cheat, and they Google all the information, answers to this packet, except some of them are outdated, and now they're just using things that, the word's not even, I'm like, where are you getting even this word? It's not even on this sheet. So it's been a little grouchy week for me. I have been a little bit grouchy. So anyway.
Well, my grandson last year when he was a freshman, we went up in the fall and, I was asking him how high school went and everything. He goes, Grandma, I'm taking French.
Oh.
And I went, okay, bonjour. And he went, what's that mean? I went, Aiden.
Oh, wow.
Aiden, you're going to have a life. And I just started laughing.
Yeah. That's a tough year. That's a tough year when you don't know bonjour.
So about a week later, his mother, my daughter-in-law, texted me and she goes, Aiden is he was so busted. Guess he got this email or text from the teacher that said, Aiden, I just wanted you to know that out of the first test, you got a 97. Very few freshmen ever do that. I thought you weren't understanding it, but now that I know you do, I've been calling on you more often in class. You are so busted.
Oh, it's going on. It's going on.
Damn.
So anyway, that's kind of what's been going on here. I'm a little bit like out of sorts with an exhaustion. My husband's been in San Francisco all week, so I've been waking up at like 4:30 in the morning for no reason. I can't even blame him because he's not here. Be like, I woke me up. No, it's just all me waking up. So anyway, we've kind of been talking. Now it's the holidays are coming up, as you can tell. I got my flare here. So again, people have been asking what's a good thing to give for a gift. Well, now that we're getting kind of towards the end of the time, you got to mail it and you got to finish making it. You need something quick if you're looking for something to knit up quickly. So some great suggestions are big fat chunk of wool. So here is something like Wool in the Gang, crazy sexy wool. And you can make a hat with this. So we've got some other really nice chunky yarns. This is Sequoia by Ba. And it's gorgeous and it knits up really quickly. So if you need something that you want to bang out in an afternoon, a good hat or a cowl, and this
size 15
needles, so you can get down to 13 on the Sequoia. These are 15s
15.
on the Wool in the Gang. I also have these Rasta by Malabrigo. I have a couple of other colors and they are beautiful, and it just literally you feel like I am so good. Oh my god, I just made this hat in like an hour. So this is a really good way to boost your self-esteem and give the gift for the holidays. We also have brand new yarn in here. This was a special order for one of our customers. It's from Knit Collage, but look at how beautiful this is. Okay,
she wants a sweater out of that.
She ordered 11.5 million of these. So yes, she's making a sweater, but it's got some.
Be interesting to see how that comes out.
Yeah, it's got some peach, but it's a very thick sweater.
Thick and thin.
It's very thick and thin, so it's going to be an interesting knit.
You're not going to be able to do anything with any cables or anything because it's not going to look right.
No, but Peachy Sparkle is it's very fancy, very festive for the holidays. So that one is fun.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
It's just I can't see it being a sweater.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how it works out.
The pattern that Janet's going to use.
Yeah, the woman that does it is an amazing knitter.
Anybody can do it. She
can do it. So, but we also have a couple of. They had these. So Knit Collage has a bunch of these cool chunky yarns, and so they have these kind of samplers that they have. So I got a couple of them just to kind of play with to see. So you've got all these different, not only colors, but in some of these samples, they have different textures. So this is more like a sari ribbon as opposed to just a straight chunky yarn. And they do have all this thick and thin different styles. So I got this one. I got this one with some, kind of interesting colors, and then this one. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to try to.
If you know somebody that's really good, or maybe even a weaver, if you have a friend who weaves, that would be gorgeous to weave.
Oh yeah,
up.
that would be.
So that would
That's
be
a good
a great
idea.
gift that way too. Let them be really, really creative. Any kind of artist friend.
Oh, definitely. Now look, this one. It's got like little sparkles in it. This one has, like this kind of little sunshine or flower. I mean, it's really beautiful yarn. So I'm excited to see, what people come up with. We have some really creative, crafty people. So look at how pretty those colors are. So yeah, Knit Collage, we are carrying that now. I've also had so many requests for this. I finally, because I have this hanging on my wall, I figure if you walk into my shop and are not ready for my sense of humor, which is twisted at best, then you're not going to enjoy my shop because, it is what it is. So I have this poster right at the door. It says knitting because murder is wrong. So I know it's backwards, sorry. But yeah, so that I got a couple of these. So if people would like to tell the world how things are. I also have a sign that says hooker right as you walk in. So like I said, if you can't handle my humor, you're going to know right away this is not the shop for you.
I have one in my room that looks like an eye chart. And as you keep looking at it,
oh God,
it's knitting initials.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Like SSK, K2 together.
Oh, that's fun.
It's cute. You have to keep looking at it and finally somebody will go, those are knitting terms.
That's
So
cute.
it's like,
That's cute. So I'm always looking for cute little cheeky things for the shop because I'm very small. We're about 300 square feet, and someday we're going to be a big girl shop.
But she packs so much in.
I do have a lot of fun stuff. So we are getting, I'm getting a little more fine-tuned now that I sort of know what I'm doing. I'm faking it really as much as I can. So
and she'll order anything for you.
according to Judy, I will get whatever you need. I will order it. I'm like, I'll just call NASA up if you'd like a small rocket ship or something like that. It's fine. Let me know.
You always go, I don't know what that is. I don't either.
I don't know what that. What did you just promise?
I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, we got that. So we just got some new stitch markers, and so these are always a good gift for for people that are looking for something quick, something that's a stocking stuffer, or if you want to throw a few little gift exchange, things like that. So look at how cute. Simply Made by Liz. You can find her on Etsy as well as here. But so these are cute little stitch markers. I have little candy canes.
I like the mittens.
There are some absolutely adorable. Here's some mittens. And then she had some beautiful Hanukkah ones. Is there any left? Actually, I sold a bunch of them yesterday.
What, the Hanukkah?
The Hanukkah, it's a blue. So check the blue one out. So here are some different,
Isn't that pretty?
So and these are beautiful.
I love
So
Hanukkah
the Hanukkah ones sold out really, really quickly. So if that's something that you're
face,
interested in.
This one.
Oh, these are really cute. So these are all different Christmas.
I mean, you just want them all.
Yeah, they're really adorable. And so not even just as stitch markers. Some people, I've had people buy them just to wear them as pins or put them on a necklace and things like that. So these are really a very sweet holiday gift. We got gift exchange coming up.
It's the version of a charm bracelet. What were those called? The Pandora.
A Pandora, yes.
It's the knitter's version.
Yeah. So they're awful sweet. So if that's something that you're looking for, and I can ship just about anywhere. So if that's something you would like, you can always give me a call or text me. My number's all online, and we can go from there. So anyway, those are some fast gift ideas, some Christmas gift ideas, and now I want to talk about. Judy's been, just a fiend with her knitting, and I literally haven't had time to even breathe. So the only thing I did was this. I worked a little bit on the shop on this. All right, here's my neck, except now I got talking and I
timber?
untwisted. Yeah, this is timber, and I have a couple rows where it didn't twist. I didn't just twist the stitch. I got backwards on it. So I don't know if I can live with this. I may need to.
Let me see.
Well, because see, I
can see it right
there's
there.
There's 2 rows. I think I may need to frog the whole thing, so I can't get that excited about it. But
it doesn't stand up that much. It does kind of stand up.
Yeah, it kind of stands up that much. So I'm like, probably not gonna. I have made absolutely no progress at all on my stocking and my color work because it requires concentration. And by the time I'm done, I get home, I tutor the students that I tutor. My children walk in, we've got dinner on the table, and then they've got like 75 hours of biology and stuff that I haven't taken since high school. I'm like, oh God, what is this? We had to take civics. When was the last time you took a civics class?
It's required of every high school student.
It's required of every, but have you taken it since high school? No, I'm going to say no. No one has taken civics unless that's your field of study.
Or unless you go to a liberal arts college, and then you have to take all that stuff. But I don't remember how I
No,
got
Syracuse,
out
we
of
didn't
it.
have to take it. So I'm now
I know,
being
everybody at my
quizzed.
college took Western Civ, and they said it was just, I was Western civilization,
Yeah.
so it was not so much politics
Yeah,
and stuff.
but this is all politics, which I get is so smart, especially because we finally are through Georgia's voting. My God, those political ads were just killing me.
So now
But-
we just get the lawyers.
Now with the
We're back
lawyers
to
are all
lawyers.
back, yeah.
999.
So the heavy hitters, they're all back. So we have that to look forward to now. But anyway, so the other thing that have been working on is this. So I started, as I've been telling you, pressed flowers. I've gotten a little bit further.
You have. You've
in
gotten
it.
a lot further
I've
than
gotten
since last
a
week.
little bit further, not a lot. I just haven't had time. My goal is to now this weekend. I got a road race here in Palmetto Bluff. It is called the Buffalo Run.
Oh, is that this
it's
Sunday?
Yeah, it's this Sunday. So it's a 10K, and this will be interesting because it's through the woods, and so I'm hoping that I can sing, and maybe animals will carry me to the finish.
Watch out for
I don't want a
bears.
bear to carry me to the finish. Maybe I was thinking more like a gazelle, because you know how they're native here.
Gazelles are fast.
They are fast, and a lot of them live here in South Carolina. So so I have that to help me, speed me
You have
through.
coyotes.
I don't know that they'd want to carry me. They might, by the scruff, they could pick me up, and
Don't do an alligator. They do run fast, though, alligators.
for short sprints, they certainly do, and they're scary when they get going.
I have it filmed on film where they were two of them on the banks of the lagoon behind my house going. And the one ran in the water, and I was amazed
Yeah,
at
they
how
can move.
quickly the
They
other one.
can- not
Well,
for
I
long
guess when you're in
distance, but-
lust, I was amazed at how
Well, I
quickly.
mean, there's
the
a lot
other
of things
one
you
is.
can do when you're in lust that you normally wouldn't be able
You
to.
haven't
so-
lived till you've seen alligators.
I think I'm okay with not seeing
You know, it's
alligators
kind of
doing
interesting. Have you ever heard it?
it. Yeah,
They
I don't
sound
think
like
so.
they sound like cows. It sounds like a mooing, and you realize
It's not. It's a
coming from the
gator.
lagoon.
Interesting.
It's a gator.
It's an interesting.
And then they do this coitus dance. That's quite interesting. I have it all on
Next
film.
time that's happening, I want you, and I want
I
play
did.
by play.
I stood in my backyard and filmed it all.
Yeah, well,
It was so
I want
funny.
appropriate play by play, but in like the a la Snoop Dogg when he does his
Oh,
play by
God,
play.
yeah, I can
I'd
do
like
that.
it that way because that's much more interesting wildlife.
Alligators are funny to watch.
I love alligators. We have them.
I do too. I like them because they stay across the bank.
Well,
Not,
yeah,
not near me.
Kevin. So again, we're back. We're still on the holiday theme. So Emmeline came home the other day and said she received the best Christmas gift ever, and I was like, "What?" I'm like, the years I have spent like coming up with the perfect Christmas gift for my daughter that is so like, you never know what the hell she's gonna want and where she's coming from, and she always goes for the laugh. So you're like, I would never have picked that for you in a billion years.
What was it?
The yodeling pickle.
Oh, perfect for her. Where the heck do you find that?
I didn't. It was her friend. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the yodeling pickle has made its appearance, and now. Yeah. So.
That's perfect.
Okay. Anyway. So. Okay. I don't know. Make it stop. But so anyway. I'm putting it away. Maybe it will stop. But so this now all of a sudden I'll be in my house and this will go off.
Well, I think it's hysterical.
So that was her favorite gift. I wouldn't have chosen that, but that is the
I once
best
had
gift
a puppet.
ever.
I finally gave it to my grandson because he loved it so much. It was a puppet, and it looked like it was a lamb, and it would do the yodeling song.
Oh.
With the sound of music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was hysterical. It was hysterical.
Yeah, my husband got me a screaming goat one time where you just press the thing.
I got that for Gordon last year.
Yeah.
Because he loves screaming goats. He loves the screaming goats and the fainting.
I love the fainting goats. I mean,
You and Gordon both.
Yeah.
Here's a fast gift.
So yeah, we've been again. A lot of people come in like, what do I get for somebody? So Judy has made this, and I'll let her talk about it. So circular needles, even storing your needles in any shape and form can be challenging. So you get all these different sizes, and so when you've got shorter needles, it's not as difficult. I've got some that are really long, and putting them someplace that's organized for someone who's OCD like me can be challenging. So trying to find the right spots for it. But even crazier are your circular needles because they're all different size cords, and then they have, this is for my interchangeables, but and then they've got different size tips that go along with them, and so you've got these cords and trying to figure out, well, what size is this, those types of things. So Judy and I looked all over the place to find kind of cool bags and things like that to sell here at the shop, and I gotta say, some of them are ridiculously expensive.
They're
And I'm
boutique
like,
items.
they're very cute and boutique, but I can't, first of all, it's just a little tiny shop. I'm trying to be a big girl shop, but, I can't spend $5,000 on inventory that may or may not sell because it's pricey. So,
and you have a wide range of people who come in.
absolutely.
You have some people come in that money is no object, and you have some like me who are retired, they're
Right,
on a budget,
and you
kind
wanna
of
have-
to watch. It's
well,
why
and
I'm
we
not
want
making
to-
the $400 sweater.
Well, and we want to make sure that we have something for everybody, so people don't come in and go, "Yeah, I'm sorry, you've outpriced my market."
Yeah.
So we're really trying to, I'm trying to make it a nice, happy, fun place here that everybody can enjoy. That it's not too far fetched. That you're just looking at only really high end like hedgehog fibers and things like that. That there's other affordable options.
Those are
here.
for me. Those are treats.
Splurge. It's a nice splurge, or a
Like when
gift.
you're on a trip.
It's or a gift. Yes. So you've got to.
So I had done one of these years before, and then I decided to get fancy and buy one of the little boutique ones because they were on sale. And it was just a pain in the butt to use. That's all it was. It was a pain in the butt to use.
Well, and a lot of them don't write the sizes, and they're dark on the inside, so you can't tell what size the needle is.
Yeah, the one I got, the circular needles just slipped down into a little slot, but it was black fabric.
Right.
You couldn't write on it
Right.
or anything, so it was a pain. I was always having to measure. So here this is. It has a cute little handle. Do you want to know what this is?
Yes.
This is what they call a bait binder. It's what you put your fishing lures in. Seriously, that's what it is. It's what you put your fishing
Well,
lures
this is what
in.
I'm using to catch new knitters.
Right. So it zips. And so this one was on Amazon. The first one I got, I went to Outdoor World down in Savannah.
Okay.
It was ridiculous. The guy
I've got
thought-
my bait in
the guy's
here.
like,
You better not
"Fish?"
switch. Gordon's
Yeah.
going to go to fish, and he's going to pull this out, and he's going to be like, "Damn it, Judy!"
Okay. So when you open it,
Look at that.
there's Ziploc baggies in it, and they're on a binder. So you could add more if you wanted to. So I took them, and with my marker, I simply wrote down.
The size is that though. That's so smart.
Yeah, I got one falling out there.
So the size is for your needle, not
Yeah.
for the length of your cord.
No, I don't. My cords I've never did have figured out because all my cords. My husband's like, I can't believe you do this, but it's okay for me.
If it works for you, who cares?
I just shove them all in here.
Okay.
And then I take them all out every time and lay them out what one I want.
Well, that's-
which can be a pain, but for me, it's kind of like untangling a piece of yarn for a minute.
So it's kind of therapeutic
It's
for you.
therapeutic. You sit down and you think about, well, do I need this one or do I need that one?
My challenge is some of these, not all the cords. So this is again, I just grabbed an interchangeable cord that happened to fall on the floor.
Oh, and by the way, I think this was $12.
$12,
And
people.
it came
There
the
you
next-
go.
And it came the next day.
At Bait World USA.
Well, I got
wherever
this
you
one
got
on
it.
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
Amazon has them all different styles and all, and you know it works. Now, after a while, I found in my other one that
The
the
Ziplocs.
points can
poke through. Yeah.
So I either put tape, or if you don't like tape, you can order refills.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. So,
So-
and again, mine are challenging because I'm blind as a bat, and I can't see anywhere. But the numbering on this is so small. Can you
There's
see
numbering
it?
on them? I didn't know there was numbering.
There's numbering on it. It's so minuscule that I'm like,
I can't see
try.
it.
Yeah, they're usually near the edge. But anyway, I can't
That's like,
see
you
it.
know, in your glasses.
Yes, so you
prescription
don't
is
see it.
there.
So I can't see it. Even with even when I put in my readers, woo, I can't see a darn thing. So anyway, that's not going to help. So that's a good. So yeah, if you're looking for again
And
something for
besides-
yourself.
The measurement is really from
the
tip to tip.
tips.
Yeah.
Oh, my earring just exploded right out of my head.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. So that
can
is,
see it.
so those are some ideas of gifts, and that's just one. Again, people are always looking. I actually
I love
store.
this. I absolutely love
That's a
this.
great idea. I actually store my straight needles in. When I lived in California, we lived right outside of Napa, and I had gotten this thing for a wine bottle, and it looks like a giant cork.
Oh, I
and when
love
you
things
open
like
it
that.
up, you can kind of, it's got the cord, and then you open it up to put the wine bottle in it, and that stores almost all my needles.
I always think you look so artistic when they have a vase and they have all these
Oh,
straight
yeah.
needles in it. And that's why I was like, oh, that'll look cool knitting. And I went, I hate straights. So
Right.
I
So.
have a bunch of empty vases and like maybe
Yeah,
two.
well, I have a few that are thrown up that people have donated. The old Susan Bates,
Oh, my
the
God.
slippery, the ones I
You know how
learned
many
on.
we get at our knit club.
We'll bring them here. We'll make a.
We
no
just
one's
don't
going to use them.
accept them anymore.
We'll just take them and we'll throw them in this. We'll make a big centerpiece out of them. So, yay, Judy! Something else for you to do.
We did my first year, my first or second year that we moved to South Carolina in my old neighborhood. we did a tree for the Festival of Trees. The knitters did. And we did all knitted items. We knitted little
stockings and stuff. Oh, that's so cute.
And then my friend found on eBay, it was a whole box of the metal, different color Susan Bates.
Yeah.
Double pointed. So I
took
snowflakes and I wrapped like candy cane style double sided tape and rolled them in glitter.
Oh, that's
fun. And then we hung them as icicles.
That's cute. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. A couple other ideas that we have, and in fact, I had forgotten about these because I'm so used to seeing my sheep. And so Nancy, again, from She's Got Yarn 2, she bought a couple of these, one for herself, one for a giveaway, and these are terrific. I store all my stuff on the table here so that anybody that comes into play always has scissors and, you know, different types of things that you always need when you're working on a project. This is the other one, Babs. So we have these. They store your needles. This one has a cute little spot where you can put your scissors on them so they don't fall into the abyss.
We were trying to figure that one out the other night.
Yeah. So here you would kind of just Velcro scissors to it. So again, these are my. But if you have just a pair of scissors that.
But then you set it down and it hangs.
Well, it can, or where you just have, you know, your guy is over here, and then you have your scissors. You know, a lot of people keep it on like a cart or something next to them. So this is, you know, kind of gives it a little bit of. When you cut your hair, you got your hair cut again. I don't have to. Yeah,
short. It's really short. I know she went a little bit because we were talking. Gotta stop talking for you.
It happens. It happens.
Grows.
But yeah, so anyway, that's what that does. So those are fun. I just ordered a bunch more of these guys, and I have some of these still in stock. So if that's what you're looking for, they're from Lantern Moon.
They really do.
Yep. And my dog also found that he thought it was for him, so he was carrying it around in his mouth.
Yeah, my dog did too.
Yeah. So they also don't make such great pet toys.
I collect stuff. Lambs. I have them all over my sewing room.
They're so cute.
I have a big one I want about this big.
Oh, they're so cute. I love them.
I would like the stool, but just now.
The other thing that is really big around here, because we have, you know, tons of oysters. So this is the season.
Do you like oysters?
I don't. I'm allergic to them. I'm allergic to them. So yeah, I get my face swells up. It's really, really attractive. Yeah. So they have oyster shells. Anything on oyster shells is a big deal around here. So. Our girls and I, we have Crafty Sunday, so we make painted little things. So here's a cute little guy.
I like that one.
And here is, because I'm Shrimp and Knits, so here's a shrimp that we made. So there's all kinds of fun.
She needs to sign her work.
That's mine.
Oh, you need to sign your work. You did that one?
I did. I made both of these.
You got art.
So, I made both of these. So we usually just do those on a Sunday just to keep ourselves off the internet and devices. So anyway,
she gave me homework.
I did. I gave her homework,
and it was supposed to be we. Again, it was that.
I speak a lot of French. A lot of French in here. A lot of French being spoken.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. So.
Well, you said we were going to discuss the top patterns,
and we are discussing it right now. So,
well, I just kind of played. Because it started to get me, because I had to ask in a forum on Ravelry, because at first I put top patterns of 2022 and I was getting tops.
Right.
So I put it out there and somebody said, and I said it was for the store where I taught, and I think this is what she wants, but she's too lazy to look herself. So I didn't want the shop to go under, so I said I would do it for her. And they felt sorry for me, so they helped me.
Right, my martyr, my own personal martyr.
So I started looking, so she told me how to put in the link, and I did. And you know what? It was kind of interesting. I only went 3 pages, because by the end of 3 pages, I had already found 3 patterns I wanted to do, and I can't do anymore.
Yeah, she sends
for a wedding.
Yeah, so she sends me this text like, "This is your fault." I'm like, "Okay, what did I do now?"
But it was kind of interesting. So I just did the first. So this is just from the top 48.
Okay.
Okay. I found out that Andrea Mowry is still queen.
Genuflect.
Norwegian style knitting is huge.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about why that is.
Okay. All right.
There was not a baby pattern on the top 48.
You know what? I have to say that there are so many baby blanket patterns out there, but everyone comes in as like, I just can't find one I love.
I know.
So if there's one that you love, let me know, because
do the Georgie blanket.
Georgie?
It's named after Prince George, and it is so cute. I'll show it to you.
Okay. I made my own out of a pattern that I posted
and the
on the
dash
website.
is perfect, too.
Yeah, dash is good for that stuff.
Okay, so out of the top 48, I don't even know if that adds up to 48 because there were a couple mystery ones on there that I didn't add. There were 13 sweaters or tees.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
That is a lot.
8 shawls.
Okay.
4 gnomes. Gnomes are big.
Gnomes are big.
3 hats and 11 socks. So sweaters and socks are the biggest.
Okay.
And it used to be shawls. Everything. You notice there's not a single cow.
Interesting.
And socks and sweaters seem to be the biggest. Color work out of the top 48 there was over 20 of them.
Okay.
So color work is really, really big.
Well, you know, I think socks. First of all, they're having kind of this big shining moment right now because we have a bunch of people that are, live in Europe or whatever, and they're making a big deal out of it, which, of course, we've got our Happily Knitting Socks guys, and we even had like 6 months of making socks out of that book, and they're really funny and cheeky. So, it's I love that people are starting to make knitting, younger people are making it cool. They're making it's not so like some like old ladies thing. It's actually cool people are doing it, and it's not this kind of verboten thing that
well, and I'm on this group on Facebook called Advanced Socks, and they would do challenges, and I just kind of watch it. And last year they did a challenge where you didn't start at the cuff, you didn't start at the toe, you started at the heel, and it actually kind of fans out like this, and then you go this way. It does involve math because you have to know your. I know.
I'm
so
out.
It's like,
I'm out. I'm good. I'm
like,
good. Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but because it fanned like that, I'm like, how does that fit? How does that fit and not ride down? I hate it when you wear socks.
Quitters. God, I hate quitters. Oh, the worst.
They come down. They want, they slide down. I hate that. And it was interesting because people said, you know what, they really fit well.
Well, I imagine because you hear when your foot and your leg come together, if you've done it, which my sock would never fit because we know my math would be all bad. But
well, and they said if you do the math correctly and you have either narrow heels or you have one heel that's wonky, it'll fit. And this is the first time they got them. They're interesting to see because they look wild, and it's like I just couldn't wrap my head around it. But
yeah, no, that's definitely not going to be for me. But socks are great because they're what you're taking with you to, if you're taking your knitting to go, which all of us have something that are avid knitters, always have something available. So if you're going to sit for 3 seconds, you're like, let's work on this. And socks are easy.
In the parking lot of the
hospital, like
room.
you. Yeah, well, she's got her just in case my husband goes to the hospital again, bag of knitting. But I mean, there's always something in my car that I'm like, well, if I've got a few minutes to pick up my daughter from school.
Yep.
Socks are easy because it's these tiny needles and a tiny little thing of yarn. That's it. So, unless you're doing some crazy color work, but those are easy to play with. So,
but I did notice the Norwegian style, yoke style knitting is so big. Color work is it.
Now, why are you just saying the Norwegian is huge?
Because it's a lot of the Fair Isle, it's a lot of the yoke, and that's something that I have found because it started when I did the green and white one out of Nordic Knits.
Yep, Primer,
which is a fabulous book. Only because it was the first time I had done where you do short rows back and forth.
Yeah,
and on that one it's in the front.
Yeah,
to create shaping, and this one does it. It's in the back. Little Dreams did it in the back, which is something new for me because I usually start at the shoulder and go around, and usually if you're knitting, you come up and you separate, same thing, you do the front and the back, and then and this I like it. And
the Islington or just in general?
I like that style of shaping. Because when you do the short rows, and it's only like 3 on each side, it creates a shape rather than a boxy shape.
Yeah.
It gives it more of a commercial
Drapey
style.
Yeah.
More of a commercial style. And I'm finding that as many sweaters that I've done, I have never come across this before. And I don't know whether it's American designers don't do it and it's only a Norwegian thing.
Or is it just trending right now?
But I love it.
Well, I have to say that I always was scared of short rows, and then Judy showed me German short rows, and now I use them for everything, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to use them for everything, but I'm like, short rows, just wrap and twist. I'm like, I got this.
Yeah, instead of wrap and turn, it's turn and wrap.
Right.
And the only thing you got to remember on short rows, and I figured this out the first time, and it was math, and I figured it out that when my friend was teaching me, her name was Judy also, the short rows, and I'm doing them. When you do wrap and turn, you wrap it, and then you turn it, and you do crap with it, and you put it back on the
Do crap with it. Some don't get bogged down by our official terminology
you put it back
here.
on the left needle.
Okay.
If you're doing turn and wrap, you're not taking this one and putting it on this one.
Right.
So you have to go one more stitch.
Right.
Unless they say, if they just say short rows, if they just say do a wrap and turn, and she didn't believe me, and I finally started looking it up, and people going, well, yeah, just remember you got to do one more stitch.
Right.
And you're going to do German short rows, and it says, like I've got mine here, because same thing, I'm ready to do the shaping, and it said to go 40 stitches.
Okay.
I would go one more. I went 41.
Now hold on. Now apparently I missed an epic meltdown at the shop yesterday
Yeah,
because
she wasn't here yet.
Judy, bless. I told you she's my guardian angel that has been sent to me from heaven. But this semester, for the first time in 7 years, I am teaching classes that go late in the afternoon. Usually I'm in the morning. And so I was like, Judy, is there any way you can open the shop at 4? I'll get there, around 5:15. And so she's been coming in for me when I'm still teaching. And
Thank God it was quiet.
I get here. She goes, well, it's a good thing you weren't here. I had a total freak out. I'm like, oh God, what?
Well, I was doing this.
So hey, let me show you this beautiful, is this yarn? I don't
It's not
want to
gonna
pull it.
Yeah, it's fine.
So look at how beautiful. Also, she changed all of the stitches up here because they were supposed to be purl, and she's like, nah.
Well,
so,
and I looked, and that's another mistake on here. So, I looked, a lot of people didn't do it.
I like it. I think it looks pretty.
And the chart shows you to do it with the blue, and if you look at the pictures, they did it with the background.
Interesting.
So I was like, okay, so that's screwed up. So, and I had looked before on Ravelry,
Yeah.
and there was no
Errata?
errata.
No
And,
errata,
because
okay.
somebody else was asking, why does it only have you knit 13 inches? And usually it's 15 to 18 under here.
Right, because you measure up
Yeah,
to your
13.
underarm.
And I'm like, well,
Right.
I'm going to trust the pattern.
See, mistake number
I
1.
am. Well, I'm going to trust them and see where it goes. And I told somebody else, trust it, because she goes 13. And actually, mine's closer to 15, 16, and it will stretch. I know it's going to stretch, so I'm fine with that. But then I got to, well, you finish the yoke,
Okay.
and then you should have 130 stitches. I mean, you do the pattern,
Right.
the chart. I had 130 stitches.
She's like, nailed it.
Then it says knit 1,
Okay.
and it said remove
Stitch
all
markers.
the markers, which
Right.
I did, except for the beginning of the round, my little martini glass.
Okay.
So, and then it says you should have 130 stitches. Remove all the markers. I did. Then the next round it says knit 1, knit 2 together, knit to 3 stitches before the marker, which would be the end of the round.
Of course.
Knit 2 together, knit 1.
Okay.
So how many stitches did I decrease? 2.
Right.
It says I should have 104.
Well, that is a very, and knit a lot together.
I'm like,
Wait a minute here. I'm not good at math, but
so I went back and I looked at it again. So I went to Ravelry again, and always on Ravelry they say
errata, check here
errata,
for
check
the
here for
mistakes.
Nothing. But it said, for more discussion, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call you on it, go to Blue Sky.
Okay.
So I went to their site. Oh, yeah! There's a whole page of different erratas for stuff. And yes, there's one there for Islington. And guess what? You're supposed to knit 18 inches under the arm.
Oopsie.
And you're not supposed to remove the markers. And I was halfway around, so I had to go back. Thank God I knew 130, so every 10. I put them back in. And then do this.
And you can tell this pattern is very well used and loved because it has
I
been
spilled an entire...
through,
No, I was knitting
been
and
through the
drinking
ringer.
tea.
This is why we don't drink martinis and knit.
Oh, I do margaritas because those are
Margaritas.
colorless. But,
She
yeah.
doesn't have scurvy yet
I
either.
had this out, and I had it here, and I was working on it, and I set my tea down, and I missed the coaster. And that was hot. It went right in my lap and on
Yeah.
this and everything.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I used Knit Companion for the chart. So I'm like, you know what? You have people in Ravelry asking these questions.
Right.
And no reply from anyone. And I tried to be helpful, only to screw up, because then I realized it was errata. But you didn't mark it on your page. I'm sorry, I'm a little tiffed at you.
Well,
blue sky.
it's the worst though when you're getting there and you're like, you know, especially if you're a newer knitter or, you know, kind of an insecure knitter like me, that's like, oh God, where did I screw this thing up? And then you were like, wait a minute, I didn't screw this thing up. This is wrong.
I know.
And so,
well, I'm figuring I would go ahead and decrease the number 26 because I wanted to come higher up on my neck anyways.
So with decreasing to 26, you just went back to where you had to put the stitch markers in and then go through a bunch.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think what I did was, because I was reading it before, because it says work and stocking stitch for 4 rounds.
Right.
I was only on like round 2.
So you still had.
And I looked.
Did you,
so I had
Did
time.
you tink all of it, or did you just keep going? Okay.
I just kept going for round 3, and I put the markers back in.
Gotcha.
I was in here finding big fat
markers in.
Yeah. And I, you know, it's like put it at the bottom. You have it be, or else answer the people's questions.
Right.
When they ask them.
Right.
Because if I hadn't done that and decided to leave it and think, oh well, you know, I could have been really screwed.
Absolutely.
Really screwed. And especially if I was a tall person and then realized, oh, I was supposed to add 5 more inches.
You know what?
underneath.
I can't wait when this is done. So this yarn is so beautiful. It's a little rough to play with, but it knits up. I mean, obviously it knits up gorgeously, but you're supposed to, when you wet block it at the end, it's going to bloom. So I can't wait for Judy to take before and after pictures, and then she's going to beat the crap out of it.
I'm going to, because it's so thick up here that I want it to
pop,
beat down and be smooth. And it's going to be, I'm excited.
So if you haven't seen Judy beat the crap out of a hat,
go back to episode 4.
Yeah, we had a couple weeks ago where Judy beat the crap out of a hat.
And I think that's going to soften it up and also drape it a little more.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be so heavy.
Yes, well, so I think this is going to be beautiful.
I'm taking it to Oxford, Mississippi.
Yes, Oxford coming up in a few weeks. We're going to be in Oxford, Mississippi.
Ooh, about a month, about 5 weeks.
I know.
Yeah, I'm going to get it. So I'm excited. I'm definitely going to get it done.
Yeah, nope, it's going to be beautiful.
Tomorrow, I know there's no football tomorrow, but we made the playoffs.
I know. Judy made the playoffs, and so we're proud of her.
Well, it was really funny because, you know, last week I said, God, we're out. We got beat so bad.
She was so bad. She was so angry that she didn't watch the end of the game and took the dog for a walk and then committed herself to soccer for her. You know, I mean, that's...
So, we went out last Friday night for my husband's birthday.
Yes.
And
this was after he got hit on the day before by strange women. Wasn't that the party the day before?
Oh yeah. So anyway,
last week's.
That was last week's story.
Yeah.
That was 15 minutes ago.
He's so often hit on people that she forgets.
So I didn't know Utah was playing USC, and USC beat it. You know, bumped up to 4, and we went down to 5. So we figured we were out. And so we came home, and I was tired, and I'd had a couple martinis, so we went to bed. And my phone was dinging all night long. And
why don't you put it on Do Not Disturb?
Well, it does, like at 11 or whatever. But see, because my son lives in Memphis, and that's an hour behind, so I don't do it. I'm with
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So I could hear it dinging, and then early in the morning it was dinging, because Pat usually, and I'm like, I'm so sick of these political ads, I'll be so glad when it's over. So I get up and I sit in bed and I go, let's see what's all this about. So my younger brother, always the day of a game, texts, OH, and we're supposed to answer him or else he gets pissed. So we weren't playing last Saturday. We didn't make it to the Big Ten championship. That stayed up north. That team up north was playing. So
Michigan.
Which they solely deserve to be where they are. I look at my text and it's my brother. And it says OH. And I'm like,
has he lost it?
Oh, he's lost it. He's too young for dementia. Oh, this is so sad. And then the next text...
We're going to have an intervention.
The next text was from my fan, Pat. And all she did was send the little clip of after the game. The sports analysts are sitting there with the Utah coach. And Urban Meyer, who is from Columbus and used to coach Ohio State, says to the Utah coach, well, I can guarantee you will never have to pay for a meal in Columbus, Ohio. And the Utah coach goes, Coach Day, you're welcome. And I'm like, what the F? What's going on? And Gordon's asleep beside me, you know. And then I get to the next text that says, Utah beat USC. And I'm like, oh my God. And Gordon sits up. What? What's that mean? I went, we're back in. He's like, what? So it was pretty funny. It was
Yeah,
really
and I
funny.
don't follow enough sports to know what even the heck she's talking about. So
You guys know.
yay.
Knitting and football, though.
Yay, knitting.
It's
That's
good
quite
to
the
get a lot
combination.
done.
It's a lot of combination of stuff that I don't know what she's talking about.
And
half
I
the
like
time.
that sign
So,
today that I sent you that said Netflix should carry a category that says,
good while knitting.
good to watch while knitting.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much where I get a lot of my knitting done at night. My husband likes, if things are dying and being blown up, it's pretty much going to be on. So I just kind of eyeball it with one eye and, knit alongside with that because I don't care. I just, that's my downtime. So I was so tired yesterday. I was like, I can't even work on this because now I've screwed it up. I have to decide if I want to keep going on it or pull it, which I'm going to rip it. But now, so then I've been working on this. This is just a shop sample. I know I've shown it before. And all you have to do is wrap. All you have to do is count a couple and wrap. And I'm screwing it up.
Well, you were trying to do it last night.
So tired.
Too. I was like, quit. So we have a couple other things too.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget Big Daddy Night.
Oh, yeah.
Next week.
So we have, is that already next week?
When is it?
I think you're right. Oh my gosh. So we're going to have a night here at Low Country Shrimp and Knits where if you want to send in your loved ones, we're calling it Big Daddy Shopping Night. So we will have them come in. We can give them set up. We have, if you want to fill out some information or send me some information on what you're looking for, we'll get them squared away for
and they
any
can
gift
come in and
giving.
go, we don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
and
here, let's look at
we'll take care of that. So that will be next Thursday, which I think is what, I don't know, calendar fine.
what's today? The 9th?
So
8 plus 7, the 15th.
okay, the 15th. So we'll be here doing that. And I will, our usual lovely ladies will be here working on fun projects. So that's always a good time.
The debate is still out on the barber cords.
Okay, yeah, what is going on? I know this is apparently
I
the
read
hot
a big
topic
debate
right now.
today on a site.
The big debate. I don't think the competitive world of knitting. I didn't know if it was, there's a lot of smackdown that goes on here with these.
Not necessarily that, but some lady goes, I don't understand what's the big deal.
No,
because
I'm sorry. Hold on one second. There is a lot of crap that gets spoken on Ravelry. Some of these sites, you're just like, oh, damn, why are you throwing so much shade? Like, y'all are old and knitting. Like, calm down. But,
Well, some people, I guess, pull this and that comes off, and they said it's a lot of fiddling to get it on, and so she goes, it's
can't
so
really
much
see
easier.
what you're doing
well, see,
here.
I can understand why, because it's on there, but even I'm pulling this off.
okay.
It's still kind of sticky, and it could come off. And somebody says, well, I think it works better with wooden, and we're like, okay. And then somebody else says, well, it's just as easy just to run a thread, piece of yarn and thread, which is what I, and just thread it through. Somebody else said, let's see right there. How am I going to get that one up? There. And that was sliding really good, and this was metal, and I was surprised because they said, somebody else said, well, I do it this way to make sure I don't lose any of my stitches. They put it on,
Both ends?
yeah. And that way, if it comes off, you haven't lost it because the other end will catch it, which I thought was an interesting idea. But some people said it was just too hard to keep, it was just fiddly.
All right.
Which, like anything is. So there's the big debate. Some people go, is it just a fad that's not going to last?
The riding in the streets last night was shock and awe.
No, I was reading it this morning before I came. I took my shower early. And I was reading it and I was, okay, so that's interesting. So we're still debating on this. I'm going to try it.
All right.
Well, I want to. I'm going to stay as long as I can because I want to get to the point where I want to try this so I can try it on and see if I want to bring it up higher or not.
All right.
I think I'll do it here.
Yeah.
And then we had a gauge lesson yesterday.
You had a gauge lesson? Here?
No.
Oh.
I was at my knitting club.
I could have been here. I was so tired. I think I was here in body, not in mind.
This is what I'm talking about with gauge.
All right.
Okay. So, my friend Lynn, you know her.
I do.
She was doing a gauge.
Okay.
And she said, and it looked really good. She goes, I don't know about this. And I said, well, what's the gauge say? And she says, it says 23 stitches.
Okay.
And 23 stitches. And like I said, she says, what about this way? I said, she goes, is it supposed to make a square? Because it wasn't. It was rectangle. And I said, are you making a sweater? And she said, yeah. I said, I worry about width with gauge. I don't worry so much about length.
Right.
Because
you can always
can
stop.
adjust. You
Right.
can always adjust length.
Right.
That's not
Right.
a problem. So she said, okay. So I said, so what is your measurement? And she says, I get 3.5. So she goes, is that close enough? And I went, how many
Just go up a needle size. That's my answer for everything.
But I wanted her to see
Right.
why. So I got out the Knittrick app,
Okay.
where it says adjust a pattern, how much will it matter, work from your measurements. So I said, well, how many stitches do they say
Yeah.
makes 4 inches? And she said, how is it, 23. I said, okay. And you're getting 3.5. I said, on your measure, how many stitches do you have per half inch? Because you need another half inch.
Right.
And she said 4. I said, so you're getting 27. So I put in how much will it matter? And I know you can't see it, but it says, I want to use 27 stitches for 4 inches. The pattern expects 23 stitches for
Okay.
4 inches. So you're thinking 4 inches, 4
Right.
stitches.
Right.
How much? It will make her sweater 2.5 inches smaller.
So it does matter.
It does matter.
It does matter.
And
so
she went,
why did she use a smaller weight of yarn?
no.
It just was.
It was just her style of knitting. So I said, you either need to go up to another side. You need to probably go up in size, needle size.
Like I said, sometimes it works.
Not when you go up 5. Not when you
It's
keep going
fine.
up.
That's how I
5.
do.
When you go from 5s to 9s,
No.
it's going to make a difference.
It does. It makes it faster.
But anyways,
Okay.
and people are like, oh, that's really cool. What is that? And I said, it's an app called Knittrick, and it looks like a calculator with a little ball of yarn and 2
Yep.
needles. And I said, yeah, and it costs. I think it's like $3. It's the best $3 I ever spent.
Yeah.
Because I know. And when I can go work from my measurements, I can go in and they say, when it says pattern repeat, I just put in how many stitches, because that's what I was doing for the Il Suo Turco, since I'm going down to DK.
Right.
So I put in how many stitches they expect, and then I kept adding the stitches to get the measurement that they want.
Right.
So I now I got to pretty much double the number of stitches. Because I'm doing a DK instead of bulky.
So then, are you just going to adjust your entire pattern to that?
Yeah, I'll just double. So if it says bind off 10, I'll bind off 20.
Oh God, I
Because
would
I
forget.
have double the amount of stitches.
Right.
That I need.
Right.
So everything is doubled pretty much.
See, that I would
Don't hold
forget.
me
I'd
to
have
that.
to rewrite the whole. I'd have to rewrite the whole pattern.
Well, I looked at it, and it's pretty spot on. If you take 2 DKs and hold them together, you're going to get a bulky.
Yeah.
So I do have to play a little more since I changed out what yarn I was going to use.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit down and start doing that. But this weekend, maybe.
You're almost done with like 3 projects.
I
aren't you?
know.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, and I'm not done with anything.
When you get done, with a project, when I get done with a project, I really don't want to do anything for a few days. I don't pick up another project.
You're like, I just need some closure right now.
I
I
play
need some me
games.
time. I need some me time.
I play on, but now because I decided on my wedding outfit.
Yes. Well, I've ruined
I called her
Judy
a
yet
twit
again. She
yesterday.
did call me a twit because she's like, "What do you think about these?" And it's just pictures
wedding.
this for the wedding. What do you think about this for the wedding? And I have been getting ready for my best friend's daughter
forgot about your
is
wedding.
getting married on New Year's Eve up in Buffalo. So I've been like, "Oh my God, we're gonna get this done." And I was running around. In fact, yesterday I had to go get 2 dresses fitted because they were too big. So I wanted it. So I went out and I finally found the time and went out. And of course, it's now going to cost more than the dress cost to have all these things.
I just can't believe that.
It's insane.
We are in the wrong business.
So that's what I said. I said, Judy, you got to stop with these cushions. You need to add this because it was literally to cut this much of the hem off. Now it is a dress with, sequins on it, so I do understand it is more labor intensive, but so it's $70 just to have it hemmed, and then this other one that I had to have kind of pulled in on the sides and then shortened, and then I wanted the bottom to be still used. That was I think $150. I'm like,
So this is the one I found, and I thought a black sleeveless, not spaghetti straps, but just sleeveless, and put that over the top.
so she sends me this thing and she goes, what do you think?
Because I was doing her homework.
She's like, what do you think for the wedding? And I'm thinking the wedding I'm going to. I go, yeah, just whip a couple of those out. No problem. I have nothing else going on here.
Sarcasm. Sarcasm.
Weird. I know she didn't expect it because that's very much not like me. But
Well, how did I answer?
she goes,
I answered with
not your
sarcasm.
wedding, you twit. So I was like, oh, phew, phew. I'm like, thank God she doesn't want me to do anything else. I can't do anything else right now. I can't even think. So So anyway, so now she's been playing with new yarn. So now, you're already getting what do you call it? Cast on fever?
Well, since the wedding's in April, and you'll probably give me 5 million more things to do for you,
Yeah.
I think I probably should cast on. And when we get back from Oxford.
What do I have you casting on?
Well, I'm doing that sample for you. I got socks I got to do.
Yeah, but we got January sock done. So
I
we're
know,
doing the
but-
chicken sock.
but-
So
but-
cute.
But you keep saying.
So we got the chicken sock coming up, and in fact, we've got a dog sweater
It'd be
class
really
coming
nice
up
if
soon.
I had a sample of this
Oh,
yarn
I did say
in the
that.
sock.
I did say that. I almost offered to do it myself, but then I remembered I can't.
We'll
So
do baby socks.
yeah, it's fine. Well, this is so cool. This is
It's
easel.
so neat,
It's
George.
so cool,
I
and
do.
it's
I'm anxious to get
self-patterning it.
started
I don't
on
even
it.
know how they do this. Like, I really can't wrap my brain around how they make this yarn and then wind it so it
Computerized.
just makes this pattern that looks like you're doing all this color work, but it's not. It's not. It's the yarn doing all the
Well,
work.
what I'm interested in to see if it'll match the other one, like Arn and Carla's is perfect.
Where you
socks
have to
do.
pull until the
No,
next
there's
color.
nothing to pull, which would mean I would have to sit there and figure it out, and I'm probably not going to.
I don't blame you. I
But if
wouldn't
you've
either.
ever seen, I've done Arn and Carla's Pear Fit socks. It's not perfect. It's called Pear, P-A-I-R.
Okay.
And if you ever see it, you have to do it once because you don't believe it's going to happen, and it does. And I've done 3 or 4, and every time it starts with like this bright yellow yarn, and and it has to be cuffed down. They said toe up doesn't always work.
Okay.
Okay, so when you pull it, there's this yellow yarn, bright yellow, and you pull it to the yarn color that you started with.
Okay.
And it's usually a solid, and you start doing the cuff. And you do the cuff until this pops up.
Okay.
And then you do your leg till it goes back to the solid. Then you make your heel, and then you do the heel, and again, it happens, it comes out perfectly.
So is that color that pops out? Do you cut that out?
Nope.
It stays in the pattern.
With the yellow?
Yeah.
The yellow you cut off.
You cut off. Okay.
But so then it starts with a solid, and you knit your cuff till like the pattern comes up.
Yeah.
Then you knit the leg,
Uh-huh.
and this pattern comes up until the solid comes up
And
again.
that's your heel?
That's my heel. Your
Okay.
heel.
And the gusset
And
and
you
all
do
that
the
fun.
heel and the solid, and then the color pops up. And
Interesting.
the pattern pops up, and you do your foot until the solid pops up again, and you do your toe.
But what if you have like Fred Flintstone feet?
There's enough because you have to pull a while.
Okay.
I do. I have to pull a while until the yellow shows again. And you pull through the yellow and
Interesting.
cut that. And you start the second sock, and they match.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Perfectly. I mean,
computers.
perfectly. They match absolutely perfectly. It is so cool. The first time I did it, people
So
went
much.
nuts. They're like, oh, that's cool. Even my son, when I explained it to him, he goes, that's the neatest thing ever.
Yeah, that's really
because
cool.
most of the time they don't get perfectly matched.
Well, I mean,
But yeah, if you see perfect socks, you have to do. And I've tried it with different sizes, and it works.
that's
And every
it's
time I'm
just
like,
awesome.
oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
just the
it does.
self-patterning stuff is amazing to me. In fact, we had this one yarn from Universal that I absolutely loved, and they discontinued it, but it made this gorgeous self-pattern and and then the cowls and everything like that. I have a couple skeins of it left. I'll grab it, but you can't tell.
It's
But
cute on babies.
when it knits up. So it's Nordic tapestry.
And you know what? That's Universal, and Universal is the one that's doing this sock.
Yeah, so
So
obviously
they've got it down.
But they know what they're doing. So they sent, I have this sample cowl and this was the one, it was one of my favorite things, but here you just knit and it's just a stockinette stitch. And then it does this pattern. And, when you're done, you just knit your cowl together and it comes up, it looks like you're done all this complicated stitch counting and all that, but it's not. It's just the yarn. So I was like, woo, it's so fancy. But, and that was Nordic tapestry, but they discontinued it. So I have
Well, then they came out
3
with the
skeins
sock.
left.
It's the
But
same. It's the same
concept.
concept, just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, so we're gonna. I know by we, I mean I can't. I just can't right now.
It'll come. It'll come.
I need to get through this semester
I
and
know
Christmas.
that after I wear this in January, I won't see it again for quite a while because it'll be in the shop, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because it sells yarn, and if
it
I
does.
need it, I'll just come over. I've got a key to the shop. I'll
You
just walk
come
over
on
like
in
I
and
do
get
through my
dressed.
house.
Just come on
I
in and
will
get
come over
dressed.
I need to borrow this today.
Yep, I need to. I need to get through. I think final exams. The problem is that this time of year for so many of us, it's like Christmas on top of regular life or any type of holiday on top of regular life. It's just almost too much. Like I'm trying to plan for this and have you done this and have you thought about this and did you mail this, and it's like, ugh. And then the post offices here are, I mean, it's like, you got to make a small commitment to getting to it because you sit in line forever at the
Gordon
one
has
here.
The app and pays the monthly fee
With the
because he ships stuff.
Stamps.com or
Yeah,
whatever.
it is.
Yeah.
So he has it, and this time of year he puts his life in his hand because he has a package, and they're in line, and he just walks by and lays it on the counter and walks out. Well, he does a lot of shipping because he does a lot of sales and stuff.
Yeah,
and
mine was terrible. I shipped 2 things on the same day about a month ago, and they never arrived. And I'm like, oh my God, it was 2 different customers here, and they never arrived, and I can't explain it. And I know things are crazy at the post office, as always.
My
but,
son is a mail carrier, and he can tell you horror stories.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not saying it's the mail carriers either. It's just this is crazy this time of year, and everybody's understaffed and all that fun. So, especially as we get closer, everyone's a little afraid, I think, is so.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. But we have babbled yet again for another hour of your life, and so thank you for joining us as always. I appreciate your support, and make sure that you. Hello, come on in, Janet. Janet just popped in. We got your yarn.
Come here, because we were asking, what kind of sweater are you going to do with this?
I'm going to make.
More than they can see you.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little short, waist high, long sleeve cardigan, and I'm trying to find a pattern that I can.
Because we were saying cables and stuff weren't going to
Oh
work with that.
no! This is no cables.
It's just going to be straight. I think it'll be cute, especially if it's a boxy, baggy type.
Well, my daughter picked out this yarn from a store up north, and we were so lucky to be able to get it down here.
Judy said, Tracy will order it for you.
Tracy will order it for you. Tracy can order
Give
it.
it to Tracy.
She'll handle it. She'll take care of everything.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Well, before you send it off, I'd love to see it. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're going to probably be helping me come up with the pattern because I haven't been found. The only pattern I saw is in Spanish.
Got you.
So that's a problem right there.
Not really, because
I know
Tracy can do it.
But I think what I'm going to do is just combine like
Sure,
several.
play with it. I should.
You're good with that. You're
It
good with
feels
combining all
nice.
those
So
things.
nice.
It's really nice.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's
This
beautiful.
is gorgeous yarn.
So
So
we'll
got
play
you
with
in as
that.
a cameo.
Yes, thank you, Janet. All right, my friends. So we are wrapping up for today, but thank you so much for joining us. If you
My
have,
hair will be longer next week.
yes, if you have, mine will be shorter because I'm getting it cut on Monday. Woohoo! Finally. So thank you for joining us. Please make sure you subscribe and share if you love what you're hearing here and you think we're fun or whatever you think. I hope it's good. So, but share, and we appreciate it. Have a great week. If you have any questions, comments, either email us or you can hit us up on shrimpandknits.com. And have a terrific week. Make good choices. Be safe.
Go see Santa.
Go see Santa. Take care.
Janet, here's this thing.